Welcome back, Keepers of the Flames. So just a few pointers after this dark moon thing got closed off. So standing in your authenticity. Using discernment to understand when you're looking for a way to get through what you need to get through to evolve. Understanding the energies and something makes you thrive or something puts you in survive. Okay, so you have thrive, survive. Those two things need to be understood in a system of who you are. So you need to get together with yourself and sit down and really run down things that help you thrive, people that help you thrive, ideas, ways of being in the world that help you thrive, and also the people around you and the people you're listening to that help you thrive. Okay, then you've got the people that put you into survival mode, that puts you into a state of kind of chaos and confusion, practices that put you into a state of chaos and confusion, different ways of being in the world that puts you into a state of confusion and chaos and puts you into a strive to survive mode. Okay, so I'm not saying that all life is going to be peaches and sunshine and rainbows. Absolutely not. We are adaptable creatures for a reason. We're supposed to overcome and adapt. What we're not supposed to do is stay in chaos mode. That's not what we were meant to do. It causes stress and disease and inflammation in the body. Okay, so our bodies will tell us. If you have a physical ailment, your body will tell you exactly what's going on. I'll get a book list together later for tonight. Louis L. Hay has a book, Healing Your Body, A through Z. It's not going to heal you, but it will help you pay attention to the mentality that helped create the disease in the first place. So what you're going to come to understand when you're exploring this modality of healing and bringing that shadow work to the rubber on the road is helping you to find your authentic self. It's not a definite, this is how you be authentic in the world. You have to decide that for yourself. That's the beauty of it. You get to go on this journey of self-discovery. You get to your say into what works for you and what doesn't work for you. What puts you in thrive mode and what puts you in survive mode. Okay? Now, remembering that, being that basically we live in a trauma-based society as a whole. The globe does. Sad but true. Nonetheless, when we have obstacles to face and whatever else, we can handle them with grace and gratitude and not step into a victim modality and then therefore a strive to survive mode. Okay, so there's a discernment that has to happen, right, when we're navigating these waters, because there's particular people in these communities that are calling, the awoke community, the spiritual community, and even the psychological philosophy community. You will have people who understand on a very, very deep level what's happening to you and what's happening into your system, because this particular way of living is very cut and dry when it comes to trauma and how it affects the mind and the body and the system as a whole. And then there's also the spiritual aspects of it. And there's particular people who understand every single aspect of these things and know how to prey on those aspects. So we need to make sure that when we're navigating the waters and that when we're signing up for this, that, and the other thing, that we understand that This is not a god. It's not a guru. We don't need to worship this person. We don't need to step into a cult mentality. We don't need to be closed-minded to other ways. And we definitely don't need to be closed-minded to the possibility that this person might make it worse. They might just be out to make it worse. I'm not saying that's their intention, but you need to be diligent about where you spend your time, attention, and your resources. Don't feed that monkey. Don't do it. Because all it's going to do is put you back at square one. Or it's going to put you back and you're going to say to yourself, okay, I trusted another person to really be there and like help me through this process, and I just got my limb cut off again. Now I have to regrow another limb and then, get up the gumption to trust and stick out my limb again. Not happiness. So before you stick your limb out, do your research for yourself, because you're worth it. You deserve the best. You deserve everything that life has to offer you. And don't let anybody else tell you any different. If somebody comes along and they're like, you know what you do for a living sucks. What you do for a living doesn't make a damn bit of difference. What you do for a living is just stupid and pointless and meaningless. Are you going to want to hang out with that person? Much less let them be your therapist? No. If they are painting a broad brush and saying this whole demographic of existence are shitholes, even if you're not in the demographic, are you still going to want to hang out with that person and be friends with that person? Much less take life advice from that person? No. So, remembering that you are in charge of yourself and that you have total and complete power over yourself, and you are to step into your sovereign self, and you don't let anybody come in and wreck your garden. You don't let anybody come in and just thrash around in your life and say, whatever it might be, right? You suck at this, or you're not good at this, or this, because you're in this demographic, you're this horrible, wretched thing because you have blue eyes and a nose ring. You're a shithole. Stuff like that. I could use other demographics, but I won't. The modality of life does not resonate with them. Other people are not allowed to live outside their little bubble of acceptance. Okay? So when that comes down to it, right, there's particular ways that people go about their lives that can be very toxic. Absolutely. And we should be able to talk about those things. And we should be able to discuss them and pick them apart and understand them on a basic level. But if they're making the topic of the conversation more in a survival mode sort of dictation, where they're putting you into a survival mode versus a thriving mode, then there needs to be a little bit of discernment there. Now, I'm not talking about like if there's if you're in a cult, nobody should be telling you it's okay to be in a cult because that's good for you. That's not true, right? Cult systems break people down, and good luck finding your authenticity, because you're going to get out of that one cult and you're probably going to end up looking for another. Okay, so we need to be discerning about where we're putting our time, attention, and energy, where our resources are going, and understanding that when we're trying to heal, when we're trying to understand how we got here and how to stop that from happening again, we do need to be treated with the utmost respect, and we do need to be taken at our word. So when we have the choice to go out into a community, whether it be an online community or, say, a therapy setting, remembering to keep ourselves in check. How do we feel in our body? How does this feel in our mind? How does this feel in our heart? Is this provoking empowerment, or is this taking away my power? Do I feel more enabled to step into my authenticity, or do I feel shame for having my authentic self around this particular group of people or this person or this therapist? So keeping that in mind as you move forward, that you get to choose what comes in. You get to choose what stays outside. Okay? Once you can come into that understanding that you hold the keys, you always have and you always will, that in itself is going to be so empowering. And then you are going to be on a much safer route to finding your authenticity. Because there's a lot of times that people will offer you little kernels of truth, and they'll give you little things to do and 30-day challenges, and then they'll come with their lovely little verbal abuse club and beat you like a little baby seal. So you need to use your discernment. That's all you need to do. Use your discernment when you're moving forward. And again, this is your journey. No one can take this from you. No one. It's yours. That's the beauty of it. It's self-discovery. I'm not you. No one else in the world is you. Only you get to decide what fills you up, what lights you up from the inside. That's yours to choose. That's yours to dictate. Ta-da! Now, yeah, I can offer you a few books to read, maybe a few resources here and there, but I can't do that for you. That's the fun part of it. We forget that when we're doing shadow work and it hurts so bad, and then we think we've cleared all these skeletons out of the closet, and then we get this major download that's like, okay, did you know this was going on in the world? Did you know that was happening in the Matrix? Do you know how F this whole entire pattern is? Gee, no, I didn't know that, but thanks. So it's a continuum, okay? But each time you go through it, you'll get stronger and more resilient, and you'll come back faster, and you'll get back to yourself, and you'll get back on your feet way faster than you would have before if you have your authentic self. Because you're like, this lights my fire. This makes me feel like a freaking dried out Christmas tree in the first fire of spring, okay? So when we can do that for ourselves, ignite that fire. Yeah, you get a little bit of kickback. You get a little bit of pushback because people get intimidated by that energy. Stuff, guns. If you see it in someone else, that means you possess it, but you need to get the gumption up to go there and get it. You got to go there and get it. Big bad boogeyman and all. You got to go there and get it. It's worth it. It really is. Pinky freaking swear. Okay? So don't let anybody rob you of that. And take your time and do what you need to do. Don't even listen to me. Don't even listen to me. Go and get your own tarot cards. Do your own readings. It's beautiful. Want to know how I can say this with confidence? Because I know myself. And I know the cards never lie. So you could never watch any one of my readings ever again. And I would have complete faith that if you went out and bought your own tarot card deck, boom, you'd get the same result. You would. How cool is that? How freaking cool is that? We have the language of the universe right at our fingertips when we step into a tarot deck. I think that's pretty freaking amazing. So, again, go be your own scientist. Be your own guru. Start exploring new ways. Try something new in your food. Put a different herb and spice it up. Try something you've never tried before. Maybe you've never tried curry. God's help you. There's two types of people in the world. It's those who love curry and those who have never tried curry. So, go try something. Go be excited about life again. Okay? Love you. Keep it fun.